Like
Yeah.
majority of the Meitei owned media outlets, they are winning the perception war that they have created against the Kuki and the Naga also in some way.
Hmm.
And overall, like let's see from a solidarity process, or the solidarity world, or we are seeing that among mainland activists from
Hmm.
left or Hindu oriented or Muslim
Hmm.
oriented, we are not seeing that much of support to the Kuki cause, or not acceptance of the violence unleashed against Kuki as genocidal, and this is something we are lacking. Even in social media spaces we are not discussing that in this way. So how do you see this? What impact would it have in creation of solidarity for the Kuki people going forward?
Yeah.
And in the global context, the dehumanization of cookies, how does it create new kind of equations with India, Burma, and largely we also have the Burma Act 2021, which has gotten updated into Burma Act 2023 by the US administration. And how does it impact the region as a whole, if we can
Yeah.
understand, like from a India perspective, from a meta narrative perspective, as well as from a global perspective?
Yeah. So I think the first problem is that Manipur is still unfortunately, quote unquote, far flung remote corner. I'm using those terms under quote because the point is that the media focus on Manipur is very lax, and more than the media, because of that, the general understanding of what's going on in Manipur amongst mainland activists is very low. Even amongst the more well-informed ones, they do not
Mm,
understand the nuances of the dynamics, right? In fact, they
mm,
see all groups probably as tribal groups,
mm,
ethnic indigenous tribal groups, whatever, somewhere in the remote hills of the northeast. This is the general perception. So in my experience, most people from the mainland that I've spoken to, they simply don't understand. Secondly, and to be clear, I wouldn't really blame them. They, it's because of other systemic issues and media coverage is that lacks media coverage. I would blame those things rather than anything else. Second thing is that yeah. So one problem which has happened is that this violence. It's important to talk about this. The violence has happened in the context of intense political instability in Myanmar after the coup, after the February 2021 coup, and that should be factored in somehow. Because there has been influx of asylum seekers, Kuki chain asylum seekers from Myanmar into both Mizoram and Manipur, right? In Mizoram, the Mizos have welcomed their Chin brothers and sisters wholeheartedly because they
mm,
belong to the Chin Mizo Kuki Zo
mm,
fold, right?
mm.
But in Manipur, what we have seen is that the Biren Singh government has used this asylum crisis to, in
Mm.
fact, shore up Meitei nationalism and, in fact, very, very unfortunately and worryingly, almost label the entire Kuki population as outsiders, Burmese invaders, and whatnot. At least that is the
Yeah,
sort of narrative that has spread in popular media.
yeah, yeah.
And this is very troubling because most of these cookies, majority of the cookies have been in Manipur since centuries. They don't know any other home but Manipur, or the land that
Exactly.
is today Manipur. So that is quite troubling. So I would say, and the other thing, and then the third thing I would say is that this internet shutdown, this internet blackout. I understand there are very I would say I would say administrative, executive reasons behind doing it to stop misinformation and rumors from spreading. And I'm not even saying that's a bad thing. I would better shut off the internet than rumors, harmful rumors spreading around and leading to loss of lives. But what this shutdown has done is that the exact reality or the reality of what's going on the ground. For example, yesterday there was an attack on a Kuki village
Mm.
that only very few people knew about.
Yeah, after
That
a fight with the Gorkha rifles, Meitei,
exactly, exactly.
um,
So the point is that these kind of truths, this kind of news from the ground are not coming out. So
but
people are not able to form opinions.
Dongshuman, like even this is also a hypocritical stand of the Manipuri government. Like they have shut down internet everywhere except in the main hotspot area, Sisipur. Okay, so in Sisipur we still see internet being used to spread propaganda, and violence has been projected against
Yes.
cookies. and all the good activities, I can say quote unquote good activities of Kuki women saving Meitei women has gone to the drain. Like I recently read a Japan Times article where Mira Paivis have not only kind of acted as an auxiliary ground support for the Meitei militants in burning down that ambulance, but also they want Meitei men to go and rape and kill Kuki women. This is like it's a different kind of war zone that we are witnessing in our own background,
Yes.
but unfortunately, somehow we are not able to justify it as maybe if it was happening in Libya or Iraq or maybe somewhere else. Like this is a very tragic outcome of this whole thing.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely. This selective shutdown is very harmful. Either shut down the whole internet everywhere, so that there is at least sort of symmetry and parity, or do not shut down the internet at all. This selective shutdown, it makes us feel that there is an ulterior motive behind this shutdown, and not just a simple benign administrative motive. And that's exactly why I think it is important to discuss. I've seen that many discussions that are happening on television, even by well-meaning people, are missing, are dodging the fact that this is a government which is perceived is strongly perceived to be biased in favor of the majority community, and is doing everything in favor of that particular community, in favor of the Métis, I would say. So that is something that most discussions are actually, I don't know, for some reason just avoiding. I would say it's one of the most important parts of this aspects of this story.